You're check this out, man. This is why I don't with people cooking my food now.
At first it remains very still, but then it starts to move around and see the man filming. The man records it for about 30 seconds, then stops the recording and retreats.
For those of you that think it's AI, this is not AI. This is actually happening in the Camtaka peninsula in Russia.
A pale, emaciated creature is seen crawling around in her backyard.
Those are dead as 2 eyes. Look.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up at 7 up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching on your TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But I do want to go ahead and say, I love y'all collective, man. I hope y'all good. Remember, if you're going through something tough, bro, keep your head up. Pray on it. It's going to change. It's going to happen for you. But hard times come. We got to gut through them, though. We built for this shit. It come with the territory of what we own in life. But I ain't going to hold you. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
Me and my friends did Randonautica, and we saw glowing red eyes.
Those are dead as 2 eyes. Look at the camera. Yo, what the
The following is one of the clearest alleged Bigfoot videos ever. It's also brand new. It was just released on December 23rd, 2025. A man was reportedly rather far out into a local forest, a location unnamed, when he heard the sound of something large moving far up in a tree. And what he saw out there made him immediately pull out his phone and begin recording.
Whoa, see what I'm saying?
Seen as a dark, primate-like creature hanging on to the branches. At first it remains very still, but then it starts to move around and see the man filming. The man records it for about 30 seconds, then stops the recording and retreats. Some viewers are saying this is just a large ape or something. However, many point out the posture and say it looks more bipedal and human-like than an ape. Also, it was taken somewhere in the US, which, as most of you know, is not home to apes or gorillas at all. So could this really be a Bigfoot stuck up in a tree? Sasquatches are said to be good climbers, able to scale trees like this despite their huge size. So what do you guys think? Clearest Bigfoot evidence yet? Or is it somehow a clever and well done hoax? I think it's pretty good, but I'll let you guys decide for yourselves.
Yeah, I gotta give it to him. That one was pretty good, bro. I gotta give it to him.
Here's a fun fact. Back in the 1950s, the CIA genetically engineered and created the tomato hornworm. The goal was to invade people's home gardens, decimate their tomatoes, and prevent people from growing food on their own property. How about that?
2016 is like the main topic right now. 2026 is the new 2016. Yeah, there was a theory that if the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl, our timeline would shift into the good timeline again. Just because right now we're in a bad timeline because Chicago Cubs shifted us there. And there's evidence. The Chicago Cubs, it was a Billy Goat curse. 70 plus years they've never won.
They never won
the championship in the MLB. In 2016, I think they broke that. 2 days after, there was something that wasn't supposed to happen, which was Trump winning over Hillary. So that was like big shock, crazy, low possibility that Trump won. After that, after 2016, everything bad happened. Economics, politics, all the bad stuff started happening in his world. So imagine trying to break a curse. If it started there, where would it end? Chicago, well, they lost, which sucks because we're probably going to be in the same bad timeline. But if they did win, they might have shifted us back into the good timeline.
Oh,
they have,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, because they say to shift realities, you have to break a generational curse.
but the doomsday clock has been updated to 85 seconds to midnight. Now let's address the first question. What does to midnight mean? So when a nuclear bomb is launched, they count down to midnight. So they say 5 seconds to midnight, 4 seconds to midnight. Midnight is boom boom town, right? So what the doomsday clock is saying is that we are 85 seconds away from self-annihilation. So the doomsday clock only takes into account factors that we have created ourselves, like climate change or AI or things of that nature. This year, they introduced something called mirror life. What the is mirror life? It's exactly what it sounds like, babe. It's when life is refracted. You ever seen the movie Annihilation, where there's that shimmer area, right? And when they go into the shimmer, their DNA gets refracted and their insides start to change and their DNA changes, right? And they can't adjust to this shimmer area. Biology is backwards in the shimmer, right? Plants start taking on animal qualities. Animals start taking on plant qualities. Everything is all backwards. That shit's real. Mirror life is real. And the doomsday scientists are concerned about it. It's like Pandora's box. Pandora doesn't go back in. Shit's wild.
A minute is 60 seconds, right? A minute is 60 seconds, right? Okay, real quick. Look at your camera. Look at what time it is. Right now. Okay? Now. Look at the time. And then as soon as it turns to the next minute, start counting. I ain't even gonna say shit. Just start counting. A minute is 60 seconds, right? A minute is 60 seconds, right? Now count. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. No, for real, I'm dead ass serious. Look at your time and count to a minute and tell me in the comments how long a minute is now.
Here is a crazy cryptid encounter that was just released on December 15th, 2025. This is the Dogman of La Cueva del Alacran. A man named Martin Alvarez is the one who took the images. 3 images come with this encounter. The uploader states, quote, "The photographer, Martin Alvarez, claims he captured the photos deep inside Cueva del Acan, a little mapped lava tube system near the Cerro Castillo range in southern Chilean Patagonia. Alvarez says the expedition was never meant to chase monsters. He was documenting rare mineral formations and acoustic chambers when he noticed shapes in the backgrounds of his shots. They were tall, hunched silhouettes with elongated arms and wolfish profiles," end quote. After he took pictures of the cave, though, he went back home, thinking nothing of it. Until he went back and looked at the images the next day. That's when he notices these strange silhouettes. So he returned back to the cave the next night to see if he could figure out what was causing these anomalies. This is when he recalls the creatures came out and he got clearer looks at them. There were 4 of them, but he only photographs 1. He recalls these creatures had glowing eyes and would crawl along the cave walls, climbing in ways no human could. And as he walked away from the cave, that's when one of them followed him out, and that's when he took these 3 pictures I've been showing. It slowly followed him, but not too aggressively. So were these creatures that Alvarez was encountering really dogmen? The half-man, half-canine hybrids that are said to roam throughout the Americas? If so, it seems this cave is home to a whole pack of them, hiding out and thriving inside.
The clip before that, how many tried that with the time? And with this clip, I seen so many comments of y'all saying on Dogman, they're real. I've never seen one, so I can't tell you what's real and what's fake, cause I ain't never seen it. But what's y'all thoughts as far as this picture? Let me know.
You know, a lot of us are going to die in August. August 12th, 2026. The world will lose gravity for 7 seconds.
Who said that?
NASA. They're preparing and they won't tell us why. Leaked online, the project's budget is $89 billion.
Shoot.
And its goal is to survive a 7-second gravitational anomaly expected August 12th, 2026. And expected casualties will be 40 to 60 million people.
What?
They go on 1 to 2 seconds. Everything not secured will rise. People, vehicles, animals, animals. 3 to 4 seconds in, objects will continue to rise to 15 to 20 meters up. 5 to 6 seconds in, panic and chaos will ensue. People hit ceilings. 7 seconds, gravity returns, and everything falls from the sky, and 40 to 60 million people are dead.
Imagine you're pooping, and then it goes back up. Dude, what a cleanup.
Bro, I kid you not. I stopped eating junk food. I stopped eating sugar. I stopped eating dairy. And instantly, I kid you not, like, it's like I have a glow about myself now. The version that I am right now is not the version that I was 2 years ago. Because I was vegan, but I was still indulging in things that weren't high vibrational. I was still eating the snacks, the cookies, the chips. As soon as I cut all of that shit out and I cleaned up my diet, I started to feel better. I started to have more clarity. I started to receive more downloads. My mood got better, and so on and so forth. That saying you are what you eat, that's real. If you eat nothing but McDonald's and pizza and Burger King, your body's gonna look like McDonald's, pizza, and Burger King. It's gonna look different. You eating a burrito from Taco Bell has no life in it. It's dead energy. So what does dead energy do? Stagnant. You eat it and it goes into your body, it rots, making you look sick. So all in all, if you wanna look better, you wanna feel better, you wanna vibrate better, eat clean.
You were sold as a child. Your mom didn't even know it.
Sold to who?
To the state. You are state property. Why? How you think they can do so much to you? It's a company. That's the only way they can tax you. You are not a sovereign citizen. You come from the Moors lineage, bloodline, but all that was taken away from you. So now, like I said, you go out, you make $50 an hour. You on that same job, just say 40 years, and you retire, okay? If you retire before the age they set, they dock you. If you retire after, you only can take a certain amount out, and then they issue your money. So you got people right now in their 70s working because they done retired. You issuing them they pension, $1,600 a month, $2,500 a month. That's not even a 1-bedroom, player. Damn. So you want somebody to go live in the efficiency? No. Just think about it. You worked all your life, put other people's kids through school, sent them on a nice vacation. Now when it's your time to do it because you retired, you don't even have the strength. The young kids today chase their bag. 90% of the people right now is living with their mama, if they can. The ones that's out there on their own, you know what I'm saying? I want to say 73% of them getting some kind of assistance, using the system. That's crazy. They made it seem though, everything from welfare, housing, and all this other stuff was for us. You sold yourself. Now I'm gonna take you on a little journey real quick before we close.
For those of you that think it's AI, this is not AI. This is actually happening in the Camtaka peninsula in Russia. They have been dealing with over 7 feet of snow. This is not AI, people. This is real.
So if this snow or freezing rain, whatever you call this, is really fake and it's not melting, ask yourself why you would be out here trying to cover up the one thing that can melt the snow. Right there, bro. Why would you have that covered up when the sun can be melting this away for us? But they're not. What are they doing up there? What are the wispy stripes? What are the dark lines? What is it? Is it natural?
Y'all are not ready for this one. The old world got smoked. This used to be a city. These structures melted buildings. There was a cataclysm, melted the whole thing down. These are petrified buildings. There was once a worldwide empire that was completely wiped out, and you can still find it if you got the eyes to see. That is a whole bridge. Does that look like a natural formation to you? Is that natural? What about here? Are we believing this is natural? You got an entryway, you got a small door, you got some rebar sticking out. I mean, that is a whole dome up top. I think it's pretty clear what this looks like. And now over here, giant castle. Look at the melted doorways, look at the vertical saturated lines. The top of this building, you can see a spire. Now right here, come on, this one's obvious. Perfectly right angles, archways, openings, anything but natural. A lot of these places have pockets of survival, and you can see the remains, and once you see it everywhere. Especially in the places that they claim were carved out of stone, like Petra or Cappadocia. Personally, I think Cappadocia could have been the real Tower of Babel. They found that this place actually goes so far as 18 stories deep, and 80% of it is still unexplored. I'm pretty sure the whole thing was above ground at one point. An advanced civilization trying to usurp God, and then we got all these different languages. Now, the structures at sites like these, they get marshmallowed, crisped, smoked on the outside, and yet inside they're completely preserved. In Psalms it says, the hills melted like wax at the presence of Yahweh. And that's exactly what it looks like. You think they made these fancy brick arches inside, and then made the outside look like crap? And then you look at places like this, I see skyscrapers. Look here in Italy, Russia, Turkey, all the same thing. We see the same style of stacking everywhere. What we have is a real Sodom and Gomorrah fire from the sky event. And these places melted like wax and then likely washed away after. Now let's take a look at the Grand Canyon. Sphinx in Egypt, Sphinx at the Grand Canyon. This is a whole face on a structure. Yeah, and they even tell you all these sites are called pyramids and temples named after their false gods. Now why would they do that? Because they know, and that's why so many of these areas are restricted. Go see my video on the Grand Canyon. This could have been the original Egypt. They lie about everything. Now what about over here in Pakistan? It's no doubt once you see it, you can't unsee it. Something crazy happened in our past. Earthquakes, fire from the sky, floods, cataclysms. There has been so much erased from our history, but it's all hidden in plain sight.
Check this out. Somebody just captured I don't know what that is, a petrified giant. I don't know, but y'all let me know what y'all think that is. But 2026, man, they revealing themselves, y'all. And I don't know what his location there. I can't tell y'all. All I can tell y'all is just look at that shit. Here's more for y'all. Yeah. Somebody just driving and caught this petrified giant. And I'm showing y'all this because I really believe giant walk among us. Even though the Bible talk about it, but I think that's half the truth about them. But on Funnel Grave, y'all, shit is crazy. Yeah, y'all let me know if y'all think this is cap or not, family. Let me know in the comments. But this remind me of the Scooby-Doo movie, the first one, when they was chasing the little souls and shit when they went to that little amusement park. But on Funnel Grave, shit is crazy.
As he say that, if y'all haven't, go back and watch that Scooby-Doo movie, bro. They start to tell a lot with them reptilians up in that thing, shape-shifting and doing all types of crazy shit. Go check that one out. That one's real. That one was, to me, telling a lot, but I don't know if do y'all believe this clip or not. Y'all let me know if y'all think it's cap or not. I don't know. It just got, all I know is it got them dogs' attention, and that's some it looked pretty real to me, but it's the orb don't look too real, but I don't know. Let me know y'all thoughts.
They live, and they are amongst us. Your suspicions are correct. But the majority of people don't understand what the end looks like. These hand postures show us something unhuman, not normal, demonic possession at best, but at worst, some kind of entity feeling its way through auras that we can't see. Oh, I'm reaching? Or have they been telling us all along what they were? They want you to think it's all far-fetched and there is no secret, weird, wicked things happening all around us. And most importantly, they want you to think that
to the power of sun gazing and perhaps just a little tinge of art, which brings on existential thoughts. The sun taking off a few layers of skin did it for me as well. Time waits for no man, so let's get into it. Ice, I'm no far left, I'm no far right. I'm just a free thinker. I want you to take off the masks, okay? Because what's hiding underneath is probably a 6-pointed star necklace, or in better terms, people that are working for IDF. Do I think most of these people are Americans? No. I know a lot of people are calling Trump Adolf. Really though? He's not even close. He wishes. Okay, this is not to justify any poor behaviors of any friends or partners or family members that you've come in contact with. A lot of them were retarded and special before they got jabbed. But if they got jabbed and you're wondering why they've changed a lot, turns out their pineal glands were completely destroyed. Actually, we all kind of knew that already before the research came out. But if you're wondering why their personality has changed, spike protein destroys the endocrine system. That's why you can hardly get past the talking stages with some of these folks. Don't shoot the messenger. Is it possible that a Boeing 747 can carry 60,000 plus gallons of jet fuel and float through the sky like it's light as a feather? Once they fly over 30,000 feet, hit atmospheric free energy. Ether is providing them free esoteric energy. This is what a tank of 50,000 gallons of jet fuel looks like. And it doesn't seem like that's hanging off the back of an airplane. We would have all been educated on this before the great flood that wiped out Tartaria. Let's just get this one out there too. Also wondering why we're taking over Greenland. The ice caps are melting. A ginormous spacecraft that has been there for a very long time is being exposed, and giants are being discovered that were buried beneath the ice caps. We're talking 50, 60, 70 foot beings. Call me crazy, but don't call me a liar. How could Goliath have existed in the Bible times, but giants didn't exist afterwards? I just want to make it very clear. I know why passport bros exist. I haven't seen a feminist in sight. I haven't seen anybody with blue hair that's 500 pounds. It's just funny to me that feminists enjoy going on social media and complaining about men, but go out on a Friday night looking for a man. You're looking for a man, but you hate men. Oh, I would live on a planet if I was only woman. I absolutely would not. I would try my very best to escape whatever hellhole that sounds like. I talk a lot as part of the... You know that they're spraying the skies heavily when I get home. I might turn into a Democrat and put a mask on. But for real though, take as many binders as you can, get in the sauna, open up your pineal gland. Or if you don't have one anymore, find someone that does.
来视频啊，来视频，来视频。
打头次麻将，来报警啊！我们现在是录视频报警的，麻将全是头次麻将。看头次麻将，每个人都看到啊，证据在这里，摆在这里，还有一个，全部都是头次麻将。
规则打开的。
打铃了，来，全部看一下啊！报警！来，全部都是麻将。
Somebody need to go wash their hands. Boy, they pulled it out her eye.
This guy claims he reached a wind farm in the middle of the ocean. And if this is real, then he is in serious danger. And he doesn't even realize it. Because if he falls into the water here, he's not coming back alive. And no, it's not because of sharks or any sea creature. It's much worse. What he's doing in this video is actually illegal. This area is thousands of kilometers away from any land. No islands. No boats around. This is one of the only zones in the entire ocean where access is completely banned. They don't call it a wind farm for nothing. This place is as isolated as Point Nemo. He says it took him for hours just to reach these turbines. And without knowing, he did something he absolutely should not have done, because this is what these turbines look like when they're active. And if you think that's not so bad, just remember, the waves here can reach 2 to 4 meters high. This tiny boat wouldn't even get within 500 meters. It would sink instantly, but that's not even the main reason why falling into the water is deadly. These giant turbines generate electricity for over 3 million people. All that power is transported through underwater cables. And when those cables start to erode or break, something terrifying happens. Every living thing within 80 meters in the water dies instantly. Like the ocean turns into a giant frying pan of electricity. All fish, everything, just dead. Now imagine if these turbines suddenly started spinning again, while he's right there. And here's the creepy part. Someone sent me this clip and they said he never posted anything ever again. Is there anyone who can confirm what happened to him? Follow me for more stories like this if you want to know what the ocean really hides.
Check this out, man. This is why I don't with people cooking my food now. This shit is nasty. If he don't get a goddamn napkin and wipe his nose, like why? What's the purpose of this? And there's gonna be somebody still eat this shit. Nasty ass niggas on photo grave. Shit is crazy.
Bro, did you see did you see it, bro? Oh my god. Oh, bro. Oh shit, we gotta go catch a case for some shit like that, boy. Tell me if I'm wrong. They dropping nose boogers and snot and shit in your noodles or your food, boy, and he cooking it. You gotta go sit down for a second. You gotta catch a case, bro. That's not. What if your kid ate it? What if your granny ate it, bro? See, that's what I'm saying. Oh shit.
Isn't meant for everyone. But if you're the kind of person who likes to look deeper, keep watching. There's a frequency that was used to heal bones, calm our nervous system, and balance our body's energy field. But that was all removed from our everyday lives. 128 Hertz is not just a sound, it's a medicine. This frequency resonates with the human body's cerebral spinal fluid. When used consistently, this has been shown to help with pain relief, reduce inflammation, improve your circulation. When it's weighted like this, it transfers the vibration to your bones and tissues. And it's like tuning your body back to its natural rhythm. But here's the part they don't teach you at school. We used to live in a world full of frequencies. Church bells, singing bowls, wind chimes, even the hum of electrical systems. And over time, these frequencies were replaced. And this was all by design. And when we lost those frequencies, we didn't just lose sound. We lost our connection to nature. But you can bring it back. This weighted 128 Hertz tuning fork, it's a tool to reset your nervous system, a weapon to fight against the noise. This is your daily routine. Just tap it and breathe. When you retune your body remembers who you were before the world told you to forget. Remember to always look deeper.
Got bought out by the US government, so I no longer really care for this account anymore. Really, both of my accounts, I'm just going to start all over on Instagram until that gets bought. But until then, I want to give you all the truths of America and all the truths of pretty much everything that I've discovered. And if you don't care and you keep scrolling, well, good luck when this all topples. If you're still here, I'm probably going to get banned soon, so... Y'all ready? Okay, here we go. The government was built on a 3-branch system, and 2 of them could topple one. Celebrities and government officials are... When you become a celebrity, you sign your life away to this country. The country of America has a giant spell on us because it was built that way, literally. The Masons practice witchcraft and have since America's inception. Science does not explain consciousness, only a true creator does. Spaniards gave us the Bible, but America split Christianity into denominations purposefully so we could never wake up to Christ. Israelites were black, and U.S. Hebrew Israelites now have become a hate group on purpose. Jesus is not God, God is Jesus. Children are being trafficked every day. Jesus is not his real name, it's Yeshua. God is not its real name, it's Yahweh. The word God is from the government. The government is again fake. Everything unexplainable is explainable by the fact that there is a all-knowing creator, and when you choose to believe in that creator with obedience to the rule book, regardless of the time period you're in, your third eye will open, giving you the ability to see a third point of view in the 3-point triangle you live in today. Come out of the bride.
Who with him? Who against him?
I went to Minneapolis to see the situation on the ground for myself. They tear gassed the homie that brought me down there.
They tear gassed us.
I watched them testing a silent sonic weapon called the LRAD on protesters that causes permanent hearing loss, makes you vomit, bleed from the nose. You're now under arrest. That shit banned in Germany. I mean, I ain't even gotta say what they did in Germany. You know you evil when you doing shit them niggas wouldn't do. That's some SS Gestapo shit. I should watch out or I'll get snatched up for saying that. A Christy known wax museum face having ass. On the real, this is just white short-circuiting at the inevitability of its own demise. America will be a majority-minority nation in the next 20, 30 years. You can't deport your way out of this predicament, buddy. It resembles a phenomenon known as extinction burst, a brief increase in the intensity of a dying behavior, a last-ditch effort at survival. Latinos are 20% of the country. They've increased 250% in the last 40 years. Mexicans are not going to stop having children. They can be living in a one-room house, 10 kids, and they want more. You can't compete with that. And on that note, so much of this nation is Mexico. They're indigenous to this land. I was at the Whipple Federal Building where ICE is stationed and the people. It's built on top of historic Fort Snelling, pivotal site in the genocide against the Lakota people. So if you have any misgivings about ICE as a modern day representative of slave catchers, an extension of Americans' greatest sins, just look at the places they choose, not Disneyland. Democratic Governor Tim Walz brought in the Minnesota National Guard to try to bait and switch the people, playing good cop, bad cop, giving niggas Dunkin' Donuts. Like we're supposed to believe y'all are on different sides. You just shot a nigga with the LRAD. I watched you. That wasn't ICE. That was Minnesota force. The call is for a nationwide general strike. No work, no school, no shopping. Tomorrow, Friday, January the 30th. Many black people say this is not their fight, because black people have always known fascism in this nation. This is true. And still, Keith Porter. And still, the same corporations that own these ICE detention centers that are raking in billions from them own the prisons where they incarcerate us by the millions. And who benefits from that? The corporations that employ the slave labor of incarcerated black Americans. To read the essay I wrote about my time in Minneapolis, drop a comment. I'll send you the link to it in my new weekly newsletter. Shit ain't a game, man. Strike tomorrow. You gotta hit them in their pocket. It's the only thing they respect. Orange so goddamn juicy.
Shout out to Vic Mensa, man. Dropping gems.
Your soul goes to the sun. That's what you see. Your brain sees. You don't see it. Your brain sees it.
Okay.
You go to the sun. Soul. S-O-L. Sun is soul.
Soul. Yeah.
Okay. But the reality is that the reptiles control the sun and have for thousands and thousands of years.
Right.
And where that sun leads to, when your soul dies, your meat suit dies, your soul goes to the sun.
Yeah.
And then goes to the Vatican.
Okay. Yeah.
The Vatican has a direct line to your soul. Your mother's placenta,
right?
Your heel, when they jab you in the heel, that all goes to the Vatican.
Yeah.
They control your soul, where they want you. When you come back through that sun, they already had a plan for you where they wanted you. You're not a bloodline member.
Mm-hmm.
You go over there and suffer in Africa. You were a warrior in a past life against us. You're going to be a handicapped wheelchair son of a bitch the rest of your life. Okay, they had control over everything. That's how deep it goes.
So my spirit lives on completely. It has nothing to do with this dead body on the floor. And so, she starts CPR and I'm standing there watching and I hear everybody hollering and screaming and I turn around and I said, I'm not going to stand here. There's no point in that. So I decide I'm going to go check on my family, go to the stairs and I start walking up. And as I'm walking up the stairs, I see my legs are starting to dissolve and lose form. And I remember thinking, whoa, this is getting really strange. And as I got to the top of the stairs, I had lost all form. I was just a big ball of energy. And at that point, the stairs go off to the left, and I didn't bother. I went through the wall. And what was interesting is when I got through the wall, I had actually exited the wall right over where my wife was sitting, and she was painting children's faces. So she had all these kids lined up and she was painting their faces and I memorized the kids and who was there, what order they were in. And then I also memorized all of the furniture, the way it was set up. And that was going to be a big point later on when it came time to verify what I saw. I pass over her head and I'm kind of going diagonally through the room. And when I went through the roof was when things really kind of got wild. because all of a sudden I had fallen into this river of pure positive energy. And there was this bluish white light coming from a big source off to my right. And it was radiating this energy. If you can imagine absolute love and absolute peace, it was the only thing that was coming from this light source. And I remember thinking, oh my God, this is incredible. This is the most incredible thing that anyone could ever go through. And as I looked at that energy, I started looking at it very critically, and I could actually see the lines of the energy. It looked like a sine wave. So it was a low frequency energy. And I could see that this energy made up everything. And it flowed through everything. It created everything. And I remember thinking, this is the God energy. This is what it's all about. I could measure this. You know, my science brain is going, oh yeah, let's do that. As I'm standing there, I'm thinking this is the greatest gift that anyone could ever have, to be able to know this and to see this and to feel it. And so I was going in this stream of this energy. I didn't know where it was going, but it was taking me someplace. And as I'm floating in this energy river, I see this wall that I'm passing, and the wall is like a collage of my life. So there was pictures on the wall, and there wasn't any in-depth discussion about it. It was just, these are all high points and low points of your life. I was just kind of floating by and didn't really go into much of it at all. At that point, I was so excited about where I was going, even though I had no idea. And then right about the time I was ecstatic about where it was going, all of a sudden, boom, like somebody flipped a switch. I was back in my body, and geez, it hurt. I had a burn on my face. I had a burn on my foot where it hit me and where it came out. And I'm still unconscious. I can't move. I can't say anything, but I'm stuck in this body. And the girl who was doing CPR stopped, and she was kneeling next to me, and I could feel that. And then it took a number of minutes before I could open my eyes. I remember thinking, I want to thank this woman for saving my life. And when I opened my mouth to say something, the only thing that came out was, "It's okay, I'm a doctor." And she just laughed and said, "You weren't a minute ago."
Let's hope that clip can stay in. Most NDEs, they always get removed. I do see the comments. Y'all wanted more of that. I try my hardest to squeeze those in when I can. So I hope that one can stay in. He ain't the first person I heard have an NDE and they pop up with that, saying it hurt when they came back. Let me know your thoughts.
Okay, so let's talk about the eighth dimension. If you remember, the seventh dimension is where beings live in perfect harmony with the seven universal laws: balance, rhythm, polarity, vibration. Its existence in pure order. But the eighth dimension isn't about beings at all. It's less about things and more about relationships. Think of mycelium beneath the forest floor, the hidden web connecting every tree, or the internet of consciousness, the grid that links every being and every law into one network. It's not a hierarchy. There aren't beings or entities ruling it. The eighth dimension is the connective tissue of existence. And the beings here aren't characters with personalities. They're frequency patterns, flows of resonance that only exist in connection. This is where individuality dissolves into the collective. You don't vanish, you become one voice in the choir of the universal mind. That's why in daily life you sometimes touch the eighth dimension without realizing it. Synchronicity, is the field sending you a signal, like the grid aligning itself to deliver information. Group coherence, like at a concert or a meditation circle or a protest. When the crowd moves as one heartbeat, that's 8D showing itself. Even the internet is a distorted reflection. It's our 3D attempt to mimic the cosmic network. The eighth dimension is not the actors on the stage. It's the invisible network that makes the whole play possible.
Makes a lot of sense. I want to hear more.
Yeah, so there's been cyber attacks happening. When TikTok went down, they changed our algorithm because they knew what was coming next. They don't want other countries to tell us what's next. I mean, Buffalo, New York is now without power. Berlin is without power. Germany is without power. Bowie is without power. North Carolina is without power. And they grounded. They have grounded a lot of our flights due to this power outage. The Infinity Wi-Fi is down in a lot of states globally, which is affecting our airports. What happened with that young lady today was not on accident. It was a distraction. Because look at how everyone is paying attention to it. Now, granted, she deserves the attention. I don't want to sound insensitive. God rest her soul. But anytime something like this happens, you have to dig deeper. You have to figure out why. And not just that, why is this my suggested searches on TikTok? I mean, yeah, he got all those billionaires out of the United States, all of the people who's invested in him. He moved them to safety outside of the United States. It's no coincidence. And they're also canceling passports. Why? I've seen multiple videos today of people getting their passports canceled. They don't want us out? They don't want us to get out? Go to your search engine and look up CrowdStrike. It's a company. And look at what they did. There's a whole lot of things happening in the background. Get your house in order.
For entertainment purposes, it's what I'm about to say ain't true, but what I don't want to happen is that wall to be built to keep us in when shit hit the fan, remove those who aren't from here, and the people who are from here, depopulate what the Georgia Guidestone. What the Georgia Guidestone say? What was the plan? And what if all the billionaires got up out of here because they didn't like it all crowded how it was? So they gonna leave, let them eliminate the numbers down some a little bit, and then they can come back. I don't know. Just asking. I'm just coming up with a question. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Makes me question. And there's a hell of a lot more I want to say about what she said, but we ain't got all that time, so yeah, y'all let me know y'all thoughts.
Now the following video comes from a mother who for some reason began to feel an overwhelming sense of anxiety while taking care of her baby. It was just her and her son, alone at home, watching a movie peacefully. Things took an unexpected turn. Looking at the bathroom door, she notices that it's wide open. When she last looked, it was somewhat shut. Seeing that something was different, she grabs her phone and begins to record. Whenever something like this happens, according to her, things get very weird. It's a common occurrence, but on this night, what she captures is unlike anything she's ever experienced. On the verge of having a panic attack, she records the bathroom when this is captured.
Please go away. Please go away. You're not wanted. Go away. Whatever you are, go away. I am so scared right now. Please go away. It can't be spooky. Spooky? Psst, 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 psst. Spook? Moo?
To say that the mother was spooked out of her mind would be putting it lightly. It's the fact that she pulls in her child after sensing something dangerous that really shows this. Now, she didn't see it at first, but after watching this video, she saw it. At the entrance to the bathroom, a very distinct shadow-like figure appears quickly. It's actually pretty quick when it happens, so it's understandable as to why she had missed this, but seeing how fast it moves only adds to the creepiness of this footage. Whatever this might have been seems to pop in and out quick before seemingly disappearing. Seeing this and hearing the bathroom door creak has led her to believe that something paranormal took place. But whether ghost or not, there has yet to be a definitive explanation for what was captured on this night.
People always ask me why they shouldn't go out into Appalachia after dark. Let me show you why. I'm currently standing in the middle of the Appalachian forest during a snowstorm just before dark, and I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Just because I can't see what's out here right now watching me, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt there are things watching me somewhere right now. I'm going to show you a video in just a moment, and it could be real, it could be fake. There's a lot of garbage out there, but I do know that even if this one is fake, this really happens. It's allegedly from a haunted cemetery somewhere in the mountains of Appalachia, and that's one thing people don't understand. All through these hills, these mountains, you'll stumble up on little cemeteries or graveyards that no one really knows exist. Time has just forgot about them, and it doesn't really surprise me at all that someone captured something like this. And I want to be clear, I don't think this is the spirits of someone who's buried there or passed away. Demons are addicts for misery, and I think they hang around places like cemetery just because maybe it's been decades, a lot of grief. So check this out, tell me what you think.
Yeah, that shit look really real to me.
She was recording a video when she notices this.
Mom? Mom?
A girl was in her room late at night recording a video to send to her friend when she sees something horrifying.
But yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, I'll see if you can come over in a bit. You should bring your dog. Your dog's really, really big and cute. Nope. Mom? Mom?
A creepy pale figure can be seen inside the closet just watching her as she notices it and calls out to her mum, terrified.
Why don't people pray when they see this shit, bro?
Texas, do y'all have some kind of birdman or pterodactyl or something flying around over your skies that you want to tell us about? Because I've heard about cryptids all over the world, but I've never heard about this. But I have 2 stories about it, weirdly, in my email. So this first one came from this girl who said she went out at night to feed the bull for her mama, and she was coming back to the house on the quad, and she heard something flap over her that sounded like what she described as the dragon from Skyrim. She just thinks it's a big bird or something, like a big bird, because like I said, she could hear the wings flap. But then she just gets pushed into it. Doesn't know how. She wakes up the next morning in bed. Her uncle says it's the birdman. Her little cousin says, yeah, a pterodactyl tried to eat me. This is all just context, right? But she said something did push her into that ditch so hard that it felt like she hit a buck, but doesn't know what it was. But a couple days later, she says she and her mama were sitting on the porch waiting for the right time to water the plants. Has to be around sundown. Off in the distance, the dogs start going berserk. They hear this same loud flapping coming from what seems like around the house. They walk around, nothing's there. That her little cousin was traumatized, the same one that said that the pterodactyl tried to eat him. He curled up into a fetal position on the ground and started crying. She said nobody in her area is around outside at night without a you-know-what. I grew up here, we're normal farmers, I know all about animals, I go to church on Sundays, I have no idea what this is. So then I searched my email because I'm like, I wonder if I have any other stories about this birdman or pterodactyl in Texas. And I do. This guy says, hey, I feel like I lost my damn mind. I live on a ranch about 20 minutes outside of town in rural Texas. We've got a lot of cattle. We've got a lot of fields. There's not a lot of people out here. He says a couple nights ago, around 9:30 p.m., his dad sends him out to the barn with a flashlight to check for a coyote because one of their goats was screaming bloody murder. He said not normal dumb goat yelling. Like this thing sounded like it was in panic. And he said the moment he stepped off the porch, he realized that everything around him was dead silent. Not a sound of a bug, nothing. He says, I'm not scared, I'm a rancher. He walks to the barn. As he gets to the barn, his flashlight catches a shape that's perched on top of the barn. He shines his flashlight up and he sees this giant bird. He said it was not a vulture. It was way bigger than anything he's ever seen. And he said the head shape was something that reminded him of like those prehistoric dinosaur drawings. The beak was all hooked, the head was all long, and it was like hunched over and it looked at him. He said, I don't even remember running back inside. I just know that the next thing I knew, my sister was asking me why I was bleeding from my elbow and why I was all muddy. He said he had tracked mud all over. His dad was mad and he had scratches all up and down his back, but he doesn't remember falling. I guess his sister believes him. She said that she heard loud flapping of something massive outside their window around like 2 or 3 in the morning the night before, but his dad says it was probably just an owl that spooked him. He's like, it wasn't an owl. He said, I don't know what it is, but I know what it isn't. And his sister's the one that told him to send this story in because he said he's feeling like he's going crazy and he just wants to know that he's not. So if anyone else has experiences like this, just to call him a kid in South Texas. And he said they desperately want to know if anyone else from Texas has seen anything like this. So if you're from Texas, weigh in. I am so intrigued. Please do. Pterodactyls in Texas were not on my bingo card for 2025, but here we are.
Why do people, when you tell them something that will freak them out, why do they try to automatically dismiss what you just said? It's an owl. Bro, he just said he got scratches on his back. He said it was bigger than a vulture. Like, what? That shit irritates me, bro. It does.
New, deeply unsettling footage comes from a woman in North Carolina. She owns a rural property out there and has multiple security cameras mounted around her house. She has one on the front of her home, one on the side of her home, and one on the back of her home. Well, this late October night, 2 of her cameras would record something that will send chills down your spine. A pale, emaciated creature is seen crawling around in her backyard. Her side camera also catches it. It runs quickly and jumps off a wall-like structure. The way this thing moves, the way it looks, we can tell it's not human. It's too skinny, too pale, too otherworldly looking. The homeowners said they arrived home this night and noticed some movement in the distance by their tree line. They got a quick glimpse and they couldn't tell what it was from their angle. Not really thinking much of it though, they decided to check their cameras anyways, and they were completely shocked. I mean, look how long its limbs are as it walks. It's the definition of disturbing. So could these kinds of creatures be roaming and multiplying in North Carolina? The uptick in sightings is making many believe so. But what even is this thing? A rake, a pale crawler, a skinwalker?
How y'all feeling about today's rollout? I feel like we had some bangers in there. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. But y'all know we made it to the end of this. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching on your TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Love y'all Collective. Till I see everybody in the next one. Y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know.